You guys seem to have a lot of versatility with your space. I talked about just the size of it, but just in scrolling your page, I've seen bands playing in there and open mic, looks like poetry reading,
Yeah,
great BYOB. Like you got a
yeah.
whole vibe going on in there. Is how did you decide to take that route with your space and be creative with it?
Taking advantage of the space, like it really just cannot be just piece of pasta wing salad. Like what
Okay.
else can we do that we enjoy, but also to get people in here and then also do some good things for the community?
What's going on, Pizza Fam? Look, I appreciate each one of you for listening to this show, listening to this episode. Before we get back to it, I wanted to tell you about my favorite product right now, Todd's Curry Sauce. I met these guys at the Florida Restaurant Show, Pizza Tomorrow Summit, and I'm telling you, ever since I tried that sauce, I have been putting it on everything in the shop. Chicken wings, pizza, you've seen the pizzas, chicken sandwich, salad dressing. Like we've been putting Todd's curry sauce on everything, and I'm here to give you a special deal, special offer. Go to their website, toddscurrysauce.com, use code Pizza King, and get 10% off your next order. I promise you, you only need to try it one time. It's gonna be the best curry sauce you ever tasted in your life. You're gonna start putting it on all kinds of stuff in your shop, even at home. I got a bottle in the pantry here at the house. I got a bottle at the shop. Elliot, Todd, I need another bottle because I'm putting it everywhere. I'm putting it on everything. So go check it out. Use code Pizza King and get 10% off your next order. Peace. Let's get back to it. But welcome back to Pizza King Podcast. I'm your host, Tyrell Reed. I'm joined by a very special guest, Lynn from Lynn Chicago Pizza. She's here to tell us the story of how Lynn's came to be, from pop-up to brick and mortar, and packing it out, just killing the game over there in Chicago. So please, Lynn, introduce yourself.
Hello, listeners. Lynn here from Lynn Chicago Pizza, Southside native. I guess I can get into like how Lynn Chicago Pizza came to be. Like we'll start off there, right?
Please, please.
So essentially, myself and my boyfriend, Chef Brandon, in 2023, we decided to make dinner like at home as a at home dinner date. Like it was our anniversary, so we decided to like stay in and try doing what we love, which is essentially eating deep dish pizzas. Chef Brandon, like all of his experience being a chef, he was just like, no, like we're gonna make this from scratch, like the dough, the sauce, like we're gonna get into it, make a pepperoni pizza. I'm like, cool, I'm with it.
And you were in, like, over ordering your favorite place. You said, let's do it.
Yeah, because we would typically like order from Giordano's, and we was just like, no, like let's just try to make it ourselves. And with him and his leadership, I was like, hey, chef, like let's get into it.
I like that.
So the product came out to be so good that like we were just surprised. It was like, oh, this came from our kitchen. Like it's so good. And then that very same weekend, we just started to make more deep dish pizzas for our close family and close friends. And then they liked it. And then like literally like right after that, like maybe a week after that, we had went to the local bar that like we like to, like hang out at a little bit. So sitting over there having drinks and kind of like just talking about like this pizza and like just really like getting the gears grind and kind of figuring out if we want to push it out there into the world, right? And then I was like, wait a minute, like this bar does not sell food. And I'm
So,
like, what if we sold our pizzas here? And then I asked the bartender. The bartender was cool with us with like just being, regular patrons. Don't really like know us for real. And she was like, yeah, like you can sell your pieces here. We're like, all right.
so just like that, you were like, okay, I think we just started a pizza business. Were y'all thinking
Essentially,
about it before then?
oh, like everything kind of like just happened like back to back. Like it was the thought about doing it as the at home dinner date, liking it, giving it like to friends and family. They liked it, and then like just the thought of let's probably like just push it out there, like just seamlessly, like just so easy, like just having this conversation. So then we decided that because we were only doing deep dish pieces. So then we would do personal size pieces, kind of like your 7-inch pies. So we'll sell those for $10. Pull up to the bar. These people, like they were really nice. really try to like just try to give me a hard time because I was the one like, pushing the product, trying to give me a hard time, but then they ended up loving it. They were even like, "Oh, I don't like deep dish. Like you don't have thin crust." I'm like, "No, sir. All I got is deep dish. I don't like it, but I'm a support." Okay, cool. And then I'm watching them eat it and they like smash it. Like they are devouring this pizza. Like once, because I'm like a stalker, like I would like watch you eat from across the way. And then what always solidified it for me is just like the head nod. Like once you get that first bite that you
Eyes
see in that
closed,
head
head
nod,
nod.
I was like, yeah, we in here.
Like, okay, I can give them, $10 whenever they
Yeah.
come through here.
So then from that, it like literally like that was just like not even a week, probably like a weekend of doing that, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We got a customer who was like, yeah, like I want to order 7 pieces for a Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl 2023. We had only started doing this 2 weeks prior.
Oh my
And
goodness.
we're like, well, I guess we about to be doing orders.
If there's ever a sign though, I mean, if people are ordering it products that don't even really exist yet, then that's your sign to just lean into it, right?
Yeah, so we had like that, like again, like somebody who don't know us just had the pizza from the bar, liked it, and like just ordered like 7 deep dish pieces.
Wow.
Somebody
Now,
else,
were
like
you
who works on,
baking in the home oven at the time, or did you buy an oven, or you was baking in the home oven?
no, that was still in the home oven. So like it was just like the logistics of everything. So how many can we get in the oven at one time? Where is this delivery I'm about to drive to? Like, okay, like it's about 10 minutes away, no problem.
Yeah.
Doing that, and then like once we had that experience of having like flour and a whole mess in our kitchen, we were kind of like, yeah, like I think we can probably do it. So then we just started like posting on Instagram, of course, like creating a Lynn Chicago pizza Instagram page. I just kept I don't even know like how we got like so much traction. Honestly, I think like we did in the beginning, like learned about boosting posts. So I think that we did that. It was just
Reach
like
more
gaining a
people at a
following
faster
through
time. I
there,
like that. Yeah.
gaining a following through that. It's like that was pretty much 2023, like definitely doing it part time. Because me and Brandon, like at the time, like both worked full time. Like him working like his culinary, I work in higher education, I work at a college. And then in 2024, January 2024, Brandon knew somebody who knew somebody, and this person was opening like a fast casual concept like in the suburbs of Chicago. They were looking for like a chef to come in, but they were like really supportive of like having people come in with their own product, their own brand,
Well,
and
that's
like
cool.
just having them like being in this restaurant, right? So we did that like with the other young lady, like she was doing like burgers and like rice bowls, that kind of thing, and then we were in Chicago pizza.
So you were able to bring your product and sell out of their place.
Yeah.
That's
So of course,
that's
like we
dope.
worked out percentages, like that whole thing on the business side. But we were essentially doing that. At that point, Brandon, like that was just like all he was doing, like no more restaurant gig. Yes, like that was a good experience, like for me. Like honestly, like not coming like from that world and like just seeing like how things are, like really like having that experience in the kitchen. So that was doing like pretty well. And then like fast forward to May of 2024, there is like a cafe spot or like little restaurant spot like down the street from where we live that had been vacant for like over a year. So my partner Brandon, like just being inquisitive, found out who to contact about this space because he had realized it was other restaurants before, but like they were kind of like short lived for just like whatever reasons. So he got in contact with the landlords, who at the same time was trying to figure out what they wanted to do with the space. They kind of like made the the acquisition of this space like a little bit competitive. Like it was very interesting. So
Did
they
they have
had
you like competing with
people do
other
pop-ups.
concepts? Oh
They
wow.
have people do pop. So we did a pop up, and then they had another person doing like their own pop up. Two different concepts, two different cuisines. So we decided to like move forward, do the pop up. It was on a random Wednesday or something like that. I don't know. It definitely wasn't a weekend. I know that for sure. So we did that from like 4 to 7, and we hyped the crap out of this. We acted like this was our place for real, for real. Like we had a DJ.
Oh, y'all turned
We
it
had a
up.
DJ in there. We had flyers. We was like just giving the flyers out to like community people, community organizations, community businesses. We're like, this is what we're doing, this kind of thing. Instagram, because we already had the following from Instagram, so we're gonna be in Chicago. Yada yada
And close
yada.
to like in your neighborhood. Oh, that was like
Yeah.
that's the perfect mix right there.
So then that pop up was successful. I mean, like it was people outside, like just lying out the door, like at 4:02. And we opened at 4 o'clock. And I was just like, wow, like this is lit.
That's kind of scary too, though.
It was lit. But Brandon, like he had some people back there, like in the back helping him, like his culinary friends. So we had like, some family in the front. So like we like really was just kind of like all hands on deck situation. But also I forgot to mention as well, because this spot is like close to our crib, we would, I mean, house. Sorry, I'm so Chicago.
I know where you at.
Because the location of the restaurant like was so close, like even a year prior to that, we would be like walking in the neighborhood and like seeing this space and just like looking from the outside in, like peering through the window is just kind of like dreaming. It's
What y'all
like,
doing
what
in
if
here?
this was Liz Chicago Pizza? That was in 2023. Did the pop up in 2024, and then the landlords were just like, well, like the community looks like they're responding to you all well. How do you feel about discussing a lease? And we were like, we ain't got no money. Like, I don't like it sound good. Like the rent was affordable for the size of the place. So I'm like, that's really interesting. Really cute place. The landlords, they did a really good job with keeping up the space, like the aesthetics of it. Like it's really cute. Got garage doors, like how all of these
It looks real
big
nice
windows.
from looking on Instagram. Like a lot of tables too, a lot of seats in there.
Yeah, yeah. We can only fit, however, like 40 people sitting comfortably. Like
That's a
I
lot of
realized
people.
that. So then what happened was just like talking to the landlords, but also kind of like delaying the process of signing the lease for like a few weeks. Cause I try to figure out the money part, and like I am literally like having meeting after meeting with like banks and what they call like non-traditional banks to try to figure out if we could get a loan, like what this looks like, looking at grants. And what I learned was that there is no money out here for startup businesses. No money.
Not
So
until you got, once you're 6 months in the game, everybody will give you money. And you got credit cards coming in, but when you're starting, it's so hard. It's so hard
it
to get
really
money.
is hard. So I ended up during that quick short of time, like getting a large personal loan, and I was surprised. Like I never like sought after any large amounts of money in that way, and then like to have it awarded or like granted to me, I was just like, this is like God saying like move forward, because I'm like, really, like what are the odds? Like I'm in crunch time. I can't keep delaying signing the lease. We gotta decide. I'm struggling, like trying to get money, and then I get money. Like what? So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be
Something's
hard, but we about to just move forward and do it. And then that's what we did. We opened, I like to say, late August, early September, like right before Labor Day weekend.
so pop up. I think you said pop up was in May. Was that May
Yeah, for that
2024?
particular
And then by
location.
August, you had already signed lease, got open. That's a really fast. And it sounds like, oh, you got the whole, no, summer goes by real quick when you're planning the business, right?
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
how were you able to put it together so quickly though?
Yeah, I mean, basically balling on a budget. Like the whole shoestring budget concept is like what we was working on.
Did the space have
Lucky,
equipment in it already?
It had equipment in it already. Pretty old, because we already had experience with it from the pop up like a few months prior.
Okay.
So we knew like what was in good shape or what was probably not in great shape, but like still work and that we could still work with. For like pizza oven, I mean, no, like it's a convection oven in there. We eventually, got a newer oven like we bought. But like that was the other thing too. It's just like they already like had it was like a turnkey situation. They already had tables and chairs. They already had the coolers. It would already like look nice.
That's a gift.
It already had equipment. It already had like the coolers and the dishwasher in the bag. It was just like all we had to do was clean, like move in, but like really considering like what else do we need. So Brandon did a really good job with his experience, like knowing the equipment, like just the
Yeah.
hand tools that we needed. We either bought it new or we found some not thrift shops, but
Or
like
like
those
a
stores like resales.
used equipment
Yeah,
places. Yeah. Oh, it's the best. I mean, when you can
yeah,
blend a good mix of new and used stuff, some stuff you don't have to get new. Prep tables, things like that. You don't
yeah.
have to buy new everything. I like that. So you
Yeah,
were able to get a lot of money, but also save a lot of money in the process, which made it happen a lot quicker for you.
right.
All right.
Absolutely. So
Would
as
you?
soon as we got the business license in the mail from the city of Chicago,
Uh huh.
we said, "Oh, well, let's just open tomorrow." Literally. When I say eager to like get this going, because that's all we were waiting for. Like the place, like was already like coming together. It's kind of like how you move into your apartment and like you just putting stuff in little by little until like you're ready, like officially to move in. Like that's just like what the process was. So the last thing that we were waiting was for health inspection, cool, pass health inspection, because that rent was about to be due, like right for the first month anyway. So that was already a given. Didn't make no sales, but got to pay these people rent. Already prepared for that. That's just the reality of the situation. So after the health inspection, then we had to like wait for the city of Chicago like to mail like the business license to be open. And then once they did that, received it like Friday after 5 p.m. We was like, okay, so we open tomorrow.
Like vacation's over. It's time to work.
That part.
So, all right. Well, I mean, a lot of people need to learn that too. As you get going down this road, there's expenses beforehand. Like she just mentioned, business licenses, health inspections, other inspections. If you had to do any type of construction or remodel, all these things have to be inspected and permitted. And the city doesn't work for free.
Yeah,
So
and they
you
like
bid
you wait on them. Yeah,
and
I
you
don't know like
wait,
how
you write
yours
checks.
is.
Well, the same. It's so bad here.
Okay.
You write checks and you just wait and you wait and you wait and they find the smallest little thing wrong to keep you waiting and go back through a review process. Sometimes it gets so frustrating. So I understand wanting to get to that point where it's like, let's sell anything to get some to get some money coming back into the account because all we've been doing is just writing checks and just spending. So
Absolutely. Like just trying to find like any avenue because like I said, like we was already like doing the pop-up at bars. And at one point, like when we got busy with I like to call it like a little staycation or like pop-up residency, like with the restaurant in the suburbs. And shout out to them because like they but anyway, but we were like primarily like being in a suburb of Chicago that's probably like 25 minutes away, but our customer base was in Chicago.
so they were
So
traveling to see you. So now you give them a closer option.
right. So even when we were out there in the suburbs and we said, okay, we need to make a little bit like more money, let's go back to these bars. And like they like it doesn't matter like how many months that we were not there like consistently, we could still pop up and they would be like, cool.
Were
And I
you
was like,
were
I
you
love that
communicating
support.
those pop-ups like through your Instagram
No,
page?
no, because this no.
How do they know?
So okay, so like with one of the bars, I don't. It's just really just like your community like bar. Like they have been there for ages. They just like for the people.
So
I
once
don't
y'all
have
showed
none of
up,
their phone numbers. And if I did, I think I did at one point. They didn't really like answer the phone like that. So I'm like, okay. So just kind of like it was one of those just establishments where like people are like really rolling in with their goods. Okay, like whether it be dessert bars, soaps, body scrubs, like that kind of thing. Like they just let people come in.
Oh, that's pretty
And
cool.
then the other bar that we did a pop up at, my friend, like he's the bouncer there. So that was always an open invitation. Even if I hit him up now and be like, hey, like we want to roll through still, and we haven't been there in like probably like a year at this point, he'll still be like, yeah, come through. He actually hosted karaoke at the restaurant last night, which was super, super
I was gonna say, and now fast forward to where you are. You guys seem to have a lot of versatility with your space. I talked about just the size of it, but just in scrolling your page, I've seen bands playing in there and open mic. Looks like poetry reading.
yeah.
Great BYOB. Like you got a
Yeah.
whole vibe going on in there. Is how did you decide to take that route with your space and be creative with it?
Taking advantage of the space. Like it really just cannot be just piece of pasta wing salad. Like what
Okay.
else can we do that we enjoy, but also to get people in here and then also do some good things for the community. So me and Brandon, like, we agree with the sense that like we just don't want people to just feel like they gotta get a good meal downtown Chicago. We
Right.
want people to feel like they can get like real food in their community. As far as the events like the karaoke and open mic, there's just like no way like me as a person have like this opportunity with a restaurant and not create a fun environment.
I like that. I like that. It seems like
So
it's real fun
yeah,
in
so
there.
just kind of like, what do you enjoy? Well, I do poetry and I've made connections over the years, and I'm about to get these people in here to host.
Do they bring their own following as well, like
Yeah,
those events? So that
and I
that
love
just
it too.
exposes you to more.
Absolutely. So people like who may not normally be on that side of town or heard about in Chicago pizza but didn't get a chance to like go on their own yet. Now they see like, okay, like this poet, okay, I rock with this poet. Oh, it's in Chicago pizza. I've been trying to go there anyway. It's like a double positive thing. Yeah.
How would somebody who is, and I can just tell you fun, you're cool, you don't have any problem having these like you'll approach somebody and say, look, why don't y'all come to our spot and do this? How does somebody I meet owners and pizza guys who are like and ladies who are like, I just want to stay in the back. I don't want to have these conversations and be the mayor of my community or anything like that. How do you build that community feeling and that following and that feel and vibe without being that type of person? Is it possible?
I think so. I think like if a person like who like say for instance like they wanted to host like a particular event, let's just say, I don't know, trivia, but like they wanted somebody to come in and host, like they didn't want to host it themselves. Like probably like just seeing what other bars may do activities, find out how they do it. And if they have a host, like probably reach out to the person. It's like a lot of like that kind of like a lot of
Just
research and a lot of like
back channel, send a message, see if they're available.
yeah.
I imagine. I mean,
But that's just networking. Like it's just simple networking. Like, cause I can host karaoke myself. Like we got a projector, we got YouTube. It ain't nothing but getting your song and typing it on YouTube and like playing it on the projector or like on the TV screen. But there's no way I can host karaoke, do front of house, do all of this other stuff.
yeah.
So yeah.
So you make that partnership and connection, and you taking advantage of two audiences at that point. I like that.
Hmm.
I like that. And those folks need places to go too, right? I mean, they're not. It's not just automatically easy for them to have a venue and a place to go out and serve whatever their product is. I like
Yeah,
the
I would
trivia
definitely
stuff.
agree. But yeah, and then like for anybody out there like that does have like a decent space, like for their restaurant, like I would just say like just try. Like
Just
try to
give it a
have
try.
some type of event because like it does drive people to your spot to try the food and those people can become repeat customers.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
exactly.
also like if you're able to like sell tickets like to a particular event, like that helps too. Like that's more revenue. So it's about like more revenue, more bodies in your space, gaining more customers that may become loyal customers, repeat customers. Chef Brandon, like because of his culinary expertise, like once a month, like he does like wine dinners.
Nice.
So he would do it off of an Italian cuisine concept. We did have the band. We did have uh, all the tables like dressed in like white linen, like tablecloths. People were actually coming like dressed up, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like the way that like he was able to transform like Little Chicago pizza into this fancy like place. I was like, it is so cute in here. So
That's
cute. The food, amazing. Definitely like small plate vibe. Really, like it looks like you went someplace like downtown Chicago, like wherever like your fancy restaurants are. And
that's nice. What's been the most popular like pizza on the menu?
the most popular pizza since the conception of Lynn Chicago pizza is called the Dorchester. The Dorchester. So we name like our signature pizzas from communities or streets that's relative to me and Brandon.
Okay.
So the Dorchester, it comes with Italian chicken sausage, garlic spinach, and caramelized onions. So I think it's super popular for people who don't eat pork. So we got a lot of those type of, palettes like in our restaurant from time to time. So they do look for like non-pork options. And the Dorchester just like a hit every single time. We also like connected way back with social media influencers. So, they're just like, oh, just give me whatever you want me to try. Like, okay. So, of course, we're going to give them our signature pieces. And I guess, like, one thing that, like, kind of blew my mind in a funny way was just that the word influencer. Because people would come into the restaurant and be like, I just want what so and so had. I'd be like, cool. I know, like, they had the Dorchester pizza. Like, yeah, I want that. But what's on it? And I'd
So
be like,
you don't want that.
they do want it, but just like, because they saw it
They
on Instagram, like they just going off of that because the people on Instagram, these social media influencers, they make it look so. I mean, it is good, but they make it look so much more tantalizing and appetizing that like our customers just come in and they just like want whatever they just saw on
does that
social.
turn into like immediate business for you too?
Yeah, it does because we get all of these tickets, Dorchester, Dorchester, or pasta, 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 or wings, 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 like whatever we just put out there. That's how we know we're about to get busy because when we know that the social media influencers is going to drop their video like on a particular day, we already know like it's going to be pretty busy at the restaurant.
Is that now like part of your ongoing marketing strategy too?
Yes.
To continue to link with influencers?
Yeah. Yeah, we do the ones that's free or affordable because to be honest, some of them like they charge crazy.
I get them hitting me up and they want a lot of money for a post or for 5 stories and they want $1,000.
Yeah,
I haven't done that yet, but I think it's interesting the type of influence that they do have, especially if it drives immediate business.
it definitely does. I know we get people like, yeah, y'all need Keith Leaf here. And I'm like, yo, we not ready. Like, please don't tag him.
Oh,
Please don't tag.
you got Keith Lee. You got Chime Times not too far from y'all. He's in Detroit. That would be cool to have one of those big influencers come through. I imagine that it goes crazy. I've never had one come to our spot like that. But how do you connect with ones that are doing it for free or for food?
So we've gotten people, I guess like they're just starting out, like so to speak, like
Okay,
they're growing a following. So they reach out to us and they may do it for free or just like for a nominal fee. When I say for free, like we don't pay them money, we just give them the food,
yeah.
right? Or we have other ones that don't cost that much, or we may connect with a social media influencer that did work for us already, and then see their following because Instagram social media you can see like who follows
Who
who and
follow?
who
Yeah.
comments on what and they're all like together the social media influence like their own community so then we go check out their page and then if it looks like they do good work they got a decent following then we hit them up they all throwing around like this word collab, let's collab.
So you didn't get to be a little pretty selective about who you want to work with if it's not going to be aligned with, from a quality standpoint or just their
Yeah,
vibe. Like if it just don't work with Lynn Chicago Pizza, then you don't even like, no, don't worry about
absolutely,
coming here.
yeah. So it's price and it's definitely like your concept because it's a two-way street, right? So if you only have like 1,000 followers, that don't help me. I got over 1,000 followers on
Yeah.
my business page. That don't really move the needle, right?
Right. I like
But
that.
this is one influencer we worked with before. Like he was starting out with like a few thousand. We also had like a few thousand, and I don't know like what he did. I don't know like what their mechanism is for getting like all of these views. But when he worked with us and like dropped our video from the Chicago Pizza on his page, his followers grew so much. Our followers grew so much.
That's when.
Like we gained like 2,000 followers.
Wow.
And a lot of the times too, like we just had like our last social media person come in like mid January. It's like a month ago. And people are still coming to the restaurant like, yeah, like I saw you guys on so and so. And I'm like, wow, that was like 4 weeks ago. Like, so it's still trending.
Yeah, that's
It's still
amazing.
trending.
That's
And then
amazing
some
to
of them,
capitalize on that.
yeah, some of the influencers, they're like the gift that keeps on giving because it's this couple in Chicago, they're influencers, they call it the Black Foodies. And I think like Chicagoans, like, especially like Black Chicagoans, like they like really follow this couple. But they would do, and they do it for free too, they do different segments. So, like they came to Lynn Chicago Pizza at one point, but then they also featured us like meals that you can get under $15 or the best wings in Chicago. So like they keep, including like yes.
Creators need
Sometimes
content, need too. I
yeah,
like that. So
it's definitely
that's
like
pretty smooth.
patient.
But
Yeah.
you had already grown your following too. What was your strategy to grow a following even before you had, you were in brick and mortar? You had really come into the game with a following, and I
Yeah.
think that helps you open up, better.
Yeah. Excuse me, for sure. I don't even like just couldn't even tell you like the math involved with that. I just like remember us doing an Instagram page and Facebook, of course, like for Lynn Chicago Pizza, kept posting, kept boosting posts. We kept doing like our pop-ups, our like deliveries and stuff like to people's houses. They in turn would like follow our page because we didn't have like a consistent opening because we were just doing it super part-time. So people had to follow us on Instagram to know
When you were
yeah,
gonna
because we
pop
would
up.
just drop like this weekend we doing pieces, that kind of thing. So I don't know, like that's just, and then like going to the bars, like making them follow us on social media.
That's awesome. So now 6 months, I guess we're about 6, 7 months into being open in the brick and mortar. Is there anything that you would do differently? If you could go back 6 months, like what would you do differently to open up?
That is a good one. Because I guess, like, for me, because, like, I'm not in this industry, because I still work full time, like, at my job. So I'm basically, like, doing two careers, right? So in this food industry and being a restaurateur, I suppose, I don't know, like, what I don't know until, like, I get into that position. And just, like, a lot of it is just, like, watching my partner, Brandon, because he's been in this game for, like, 15 years doing
Nice.
variety of like different like restaurant positions, kitchen position, listening to him, leaning on him, sometimes arguing with him, which I know is not helpful.
A
But
chef,
I
a chef
think
is our kitchen. Like, let us
I know. And I'm like, dude, relax.
got this part. That's me.
But I guess like to answer your question, I guess like just the money part. Like I knew like it was gonna be expensive, but what I didn't realize, just like as soon as you feel like you got a great day or a great week, like making money, it goes right back out. Goes right. So it's definitely not like personal finances. Like as soon as you get it, it leaves just like that.
It happens fast when, especially, I mean, I think that's one thing people don't really understand about restaurants and probably all businesses in general is that there are tons of expenses when you talk about, buying food and continue it. Like, we always get into it with people over ranch. Like, the ranch ain't free. Like, I bought this
Yeah.
ranch or we made this ranch. Like, where do you get free stuff?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like that's just one more thing. And people are like, well, it's just a little cheap ass ranch. Just get like everything is. It don't matter what it costs. Like everything in this place costs us something. So
Yeah.
it's about staying profitable and continue because we want to grow and we want to whatever it is, whatever your goals are. If you want to open more locations or continue to grow here or to go to something bigger, like you got to continue to make money.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah. We had like one of our first catering gigs. It was just like drop off catering
nice.
for like Illinois, like Cook County or something like that. One of like those government official buildings and stuff. So they found out about us, and then we dropped off. And then the lady like who ordered from us, she took me to the side. She said everything looks good, but she was like, charge us more.
Yes.
Charge us more. That was some good advice because when I went back and looked at the invoice, I was like, I didn't charge for delivery. They're like, duh, like why would I do that? I didn't charge for like extra utensils. Like these are things that like it just like went like right over my head. So when she said that, like it would never leave me like moving forward,
Yeah,
like from that point.
because
Like
they
now,
have
like y'all supposed to
budgets.
get charged for everything, service charge.
And it's not, I mean, it's just the way business is done. Some people, you can pick and choose what you want to charge or what you want to use as a value add, but at the end of the day, it's all to move the business forward, right? Are you on Easy Cater?
We are not. What's that?
Oh, it's like, so Easy Cater is like, obviously, like Uber Eats and Grubhub and all these, like the third party platforms. It's a third party platform, but it's strictly for catering orders. It is a game changer because you can obviously adjust your prices to, account for any commissions and fees that you may incur on the app. But it's probably the most used catering platform in like the medical field. People who are ordering, like these sales rep order for doctors' offices and hospitals and places like that. Game changer. You
Okay.
check out Easy Cater. That's a average order. I've been on there probably 3-4 years. Average order like $300
Okay.
every single time. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 days a week. It's pretty good.
No, I like it. I'm gonna look them up today.
Yeah, I would definitely check out Easy Cater. So what's next for Lynn Chicago Pizza in general?
Man, it's only up from here. One because we have like these nice garage doors at the restaurant.
Okay.
So we are looking forward to lifting that up. Like once the weather break, it's really just continuously being put on in these different like publications around the city. So more of a diverse crowd like will come to our restaurant, come to the South Side to see us, keeping the customer service going, keeping the vibe going, the events going, just basically everything that we're doing. Just it's the consistency part. Like we have to be consistent because people they want to see it even if they're like not really like verbalizing just like like you just have to like if you believe like you're doing a good job or even if the night is slow like you just gotta keep
Yeah.
putting things out there but
Stay ready.
I definitely see us being like once the weather break like one of those premier destinations that like people will come out to like for a pizza like just for a good time so that's just what
That's
we're
gonna be
trying to
fun.
create over
Y'all
there.
got like the NRA show coming up in May over in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. I'm sure there's gonna be a
Yeah.
ton of food influencers in town. If that's
Yeah.
especially knowing and hearing that that's your thing, I would start to see those folks that are posting around that because that could be a huge opportunity as well.
Yeah. And then we've also got asked to be panelists for the PMQ. Like they're doing like a convention in Atlanta in September.
Yeah,
That's the name
operators
of it.
convention. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. So that'll be nice too.
Yeah, they're good people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep growing. Where did all the PR stuff come from?
Man, like that's just like another blessing too. So I think like just our first one was like right around the time like we were opening and connecting with our chamber of commerce. So like they had a plug with a publication called Block Club Chicago. So they came out, like did a little photo shoot and did a write up, and then from there learned that I think they just, like all the other publications, they just kind of like bite off of each other. Like if they see something else new and looks interesting and good, like they all like want to come one by one. And like that's just like what happened.
Just like podcasting. we all talk to the same people all the time.
Yeah, so some publications like we contacted, but for the most part, like they contacted us. Like we were on a national news station called WGN, like they're based in Chicago. So they invited us to do like a demo at their station last October. The Chicago Tribune, which is another like big major deal publication in Chicago, like they had a person come out to the restaurant and this person had no chill. They were just like, yeah, like I'm just here from Chicago Tribune and your piece is good. I wasn't going to say anything, but it's good. And we're just going
Oh,
to contact you all like for an article. So we
just
get
like
like
that.
those type of people in there too that like come in and like just try to sit down and like eat the food, but like they're actually like from a publication. So I'm like, that's nice.
Well, that's
Like, how
great.
did you all find out about us?
So
And then
it's organic, but it's like that's huge.
yeah, and then other things is just like really not with like just sell other like restaurateurs out there too. Like whether you think like you're just a small guy like on a totem pole, or even like even a big fish out there, however you see yourself, like just put yourself out there really, because ain't really nobody out here gonna make it move for you except for you. So it is nice to be featured in all of these different things. People like reaching out to us, but we also put the work in too by sending out our own press releases. So like that probably like caught somebody's bug. We would just like whatever magazine or like publication that we know, like we would send it out as well. They bite or they won't bite. I myself like pitched an article idea to PMQ. They responded like right back. I was like, hey,
Nice.
like I got an idea for you. Like it's Black History Month coming up. Valentine's Day coming up, and me and Brandon, like we are the perfect love story. Like you could feature us for. Like I was giving them ideas, and they're pretty like pretty much. They said
That's
like, yeah,
awesome.
we like this, so let's get you on the book. So like, and that led into an opportunity to be a panelist, like for their event, that's coming up in the fall. So it's even talking to you. Like I saw like your page on Instagram. I started listening to your podcast. I was like I could be on this show.
Yeah, it is easy. We just talk and then then you figure it out. But you're right. You got to put yourself out there, or connections can't be made, and opportunities just don't happen because the world is moving quick. Everybody's doing their thing and hustling, so you got to put it out there.
True, true,
So
for sure.
no, I think it's amazing what y'all are doing, and just wishing y'all can just continue success. How do people find you when they want to come visit, even if they're not in Chicago right now, but they're passing through? How do people find Lynn Chicago Pizza?
Yeah, simply through Google in Chicago Pizza. Our website, our Google page is the first thing that pops up. And then also on Instagram, like just for like the latest and the quickest updates. Lynn Chicago Pizza on Instagram, Facebook. Our TikTok is kind of weak. We get most of our action on Instagram, but more so like Google Lynn Chicago Pizza, and our website will pop up in Instagram as well.
Nice. Go in, see Chef Brandon, see Lynn, enjoy a fresh baked Dorchester. And I also saw pasta, wings. Did
Yeah.
y'all just expand the menu over time, or did you start with all those things? I'm supposed to stop asking questions, but I just keep thinking of more stuff I want to talk about.
No worries. So when we opened the restaurant, like that was the idea to just be like a traditional pizzeria, pizza, pasta, wing, salad. So when we were doing, the Chicago pizza as pop ups, we were just doing pizzas.
Just pizza, okay.
And then just decided to expand the menu more because revenue, right? Like we just can't depend on the pizzas. Like we got to get other things on the
The
menu.
salads look good, and I can see
So
the
good. I
culinary
even got that
skills in Chef Brandon when I look at like who
because it was
put
colorful,
right. He put the pickle red onions on there. Like, okay, he really because our
right?
salads suck. Um, so he really elevated the game on with the salads and the pasta and all these things, which a lot of pizza places really don't execute very well. So that's another great thing about what y'all doing is bringing those skills from.
And that's what I tell people too. I tell people like even at the restaurant, I'm like, it's a real chef back there.
Yeah,
Okay, like you may think like pizza is easy. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
it ain't.
It.
It looks easy. It ain't easy.
Yeah. To be honest, I can't even like roll out a perfect circle. Like I just like quit. Like I could build it, or like I just cannot. Anyway, but like it is labor intensive doing the pieces, but I always tell people like it's a real chef back there in the kitchen. Like this just ain't no regular place that like we're just trying to like just throw you some crap food. Like we want you to have good food.
Nice. Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
every customer appreciates that, both current and future customers, and
So
I'm looking forward to it. I got a few spots on my list in Chicago to visit, and Lynn's is right there at the top of it. So thank
make
you.
sure you come in the summer. It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh yeah, Chicago is one of my favorite places. I grew up in Michigan, so like Chicago was
Nice.
like our little vacation, like
Right?
getaway spot. So I'm a big fan of Chicago and especially South Side. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us and coming on and just giving us some game on how to start and do it the right way. Hey, bet on yourself. Get you some money, get more money if you can get it,
More money, right?
but don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Build a following and just take off and run with it. A lot of people are afraid to do what you just did in a very short amount of time. So congratulations, and we just wish you nothing but success.
Thank you so much for having me, and hope to see you in Chicago in the next few months.
Absolutely, absolutely. Take care. Thanks again.
All right.